to send the StreamYard link out to anyone?
Dave, do you want to introduce us?
Welcome back to the pigsty. Oinking in.
Yeah, we're... No.
Workshop that.
No. No, we're not going with that. Nobody can see you now, Dave. I've you hidden in the background. They can only hear you, and I'm considering kicking you. What did you do now?
You said whatever came to my mind.
Yeah, shut up.
The welcome bit was in there. The oinking in, that just came right at the last minute.
Okay, that's the part that he's got though. So.
It matches with his outro.
Oh, Dave. And no to the question, the one you asked. I didn't send the link out to anyone. If anyone wants the link, hit me up on Discord or Twitter, and I'll send out the link. Maddie, welcome back. Thank you very much again for coming and putting up with us and Dave's oinking in.
This is super fun. Also, for some reason, I am drinking Christmas beer because the selection at the grocery store is weird right now.
That's when you're next going to go to the grocery store.
Christmas? Yeah,
Yeah.
Probably. That's probably when we're going to be allowed to leave the house.
Have you seen Jass's suggestion? Welcome to the pigsty. Now let's get our pork on.
No, fuck that.
No.
No.
Sorry, Jassa, you've been signed out.
I did wonder about sound effect of welcome to the pigsty, and then the sound effect of rabid pigs winking and attacking something.
No, somebody will meme that and put it with porn or something, and you know, there's the whole fan fiction thing going about at the minute that I'm very afraid of.
It's fine. I
Wait,
don't
did
think
you like
here,
learn
so.
what fan fiction is?
No, you see
No,
somebody.
it's fan fiction about him.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, that's
And
not.
Dave. Him and Dave. So.
It's
What
a
did I
running
miss?
joke. There's not actual fan fiction, Maddie. It's a running joke. Okay.
There is apparently.
There's
No,
not
these-
apparently.
they
There's
fucking
not
fix it.
apparently.
Is there not?
There fucking better not be.
There absolutely is.
There probably is now.
Maddie, I'm gonna have to leave, and I'm putting Manda in charge. It was nice meeting you.
Bad fucking idea.
I've seen a one-liner from it, and it involved me leaving the shower very steamy and Dave in the living room alone, and I didn't like it.
Why is there? It's always water-based. This is the same thing with the picture, the water or the rain, whatever the fuck.
It's same as when
Anyway.
you take pictures of cars. You always wet them and take pictures when they're just finished being washed. They look better.
And then what way are you draped over it?
I am not talking about this, Dave. Stop, okay? Stop.
You brought it up.
I'm gonna kick you too, Manda.
Okay, I'm used to it.
So when are we doing the MathPig calendar?
So, Maddie does science. Science is cool. There's no MathPig calendar. I only have one outfit. We can't just use the same picture.
I've seen girls do calendars that have got a lot less than one outfit.
Maddie got confused on the math. She really likes math, and you broke her on that math.
That one took me a second.
Saying that, Dave, and saying that the birthday suit is still a suit. How did this fucking happen? How did this end up like it? I have no idea. Everybody, thanks very much for coming back. We've got Zeppel. How do you say that? Z-Leap Ping Burr. Yep, Z-Leap Ping Burr. We've got Rory. We've got Chris from Science Talk TV. Amiga Nuts. And everybody else. No, Geo and all the rest of you and Jassa. Thank you very much for all coming back. And just ignore the first 5 minutes of this stream. This is where we're starting again. So everybody, thanks for coming tonight. Man, did you have fun?
You invite smart people on, and we end up talking absolute shit. And then you invite dumb people on, and we quiz them about science.
That's because when we invite dumb people on, we think we're smarter than them. But then when we invite people on like Maddie and Amanda, then we realize we're fucking stupid, and then I hide in the corner.
Yes.
It's like, what can we talk about? I don't know. Yeah, weather. Oh shit, we can't even talk about that. She knows more about that too. Go team! Go team!
Oh.
No. Do you support
I
any
say, but for
support of
real,
sport?
it is like the start of real storm season here in the plains. So everybody know your safety plan, know where your local shelters are, pay attention to the National Weather Service.
Yeah.
That's my PSA for the day.
Links in the description for Angie, who, if you've seen the pictures on fucking Twitter, woman ain't got no roof no more. You got no house. So it's definitely real, and it affects people that we know.
Yeah.
Right. I'll ask this question because no one has answered my question before. Okay. Why do Americans keep making their houses out of matchsticks?
Are you familiar with tornadoes?
There are brick bits left over from tornadoes.
No, but
no.
In all honesty, my house isn't made like shit. Like, it really is, just because they want to make them quickly. There's since I've been here in 3 years, there was, I think, 6 houses on my street. It's a circle, and they've built 7 more in less than 3 years. And they put them up quick. They want to get them up quick and get them sold, and they're built like shit. So that's why, because America is the land of the consumer. So
it's a lot of places like that as well. I know a lot of people that's going onto the market now, and they want a new build because when they go in, everything's done. It's got the triple glazing. It's got all that, this and the other. My house was built, I think, middle of the Second World War for the local army base for the overflow of the families. This thing's built out of concrete with the intention of, shit getting bombed. This house not going to fall down. It had single glazing when I moved in. I had to put the triple glazing in, but I'd rather have a house built out of brick.
So like here out in Oklahoma, I mean, most homes are built out of brick, but if an F5 hits your house, it's gone. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
there's like out here, there's like nothing older than 100 years because Tornado Alley. Also hail. You have to get a new roof every like 5 years anyway, because it'll be damaged by pretty much every year. We'll have at least one storm with golf ball plus sized hail.
So you don't go outside?
No, you don't want to go outside. Right after the hailstorm is a great time to buy a car, though, because most car lots are not covered, and so there'll be body damage, enough to technically like total the car, but there's nothing actually wrong with the car. Great time to buy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
Does that answer your question, Dave?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
How often does an F5 hit? Like, we're not going to say that a concrete house can survive an F3 wobbly on a 4 and done on a 5, but if they did build it out of brick, would more often than not they would probably survive if a 5 doesn't happen that often.
Okay, so in the US, 95% of tornado-related deaths come from EF4s and EF5s. EF5s are rarer. Those are kind of hard. You probably won't see one of those every year. EF4, you'll probably get 1 or 2 every storm season. When you look at that other 5% of deaths, those almost exclusively, so that's occurring with EF2s and EF3s. Those are almost exclusively occurring in the American Southeast, so the Carolinas, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi. And there's a lot of factors as to why tornadoes their strength is measured by their wind speed. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, sorry, dude, but an F5 could pick up your concrete house, or it could throw a tree through it. But the deaths that occur with lower strength tornadoes in the Southeast have a lot to do with one, there's more mobile homes. Those get destroyed much easier. And two, they have hills and trees And so its radar can't see as far, so it's harder to forecast them because you can't give as much lead time because literally there's a hill in the way.
Yeah. I was just wondering down to the popularity of how often they happen. You know, it's
Yeah.
as Dave says, you see an awful lot of American houses being built out of wood rather than concrete.
Yeah. So there's places where they're common, right? So Panhandle of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, up through the plains, so Nebraska and the Dakotas, and then over into like Arkansas, Missouri. Those are even like Tennessee. Those are really, really common areas. Southeast is still pretty common. Just the timing's a little different, and they don't tend to get EF5s. Let's see, the last bad EF5 was the 2013 one that went through Moore, which is just like 10 minutes north of me. But one of the other good things about the middle of the country out here, so it's rare to get a tornado west of the Rocky Mountains, because the reason that we get such severe weather here is because you have this cold, dry air mass coming up over the Rocky Mountains, and then it smashes into a warm, moist air mass coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. And so that's why we get so many thunderstorms. We've actually had a thunderstorm like every night for the last week. It's nice. I love thunderstorms. Yeah. I never sleep so well as when it's just like rolling thunder outside.
We used to have a German Shepherd that was petrified of the thunder to the point that my mother loved Garth Brooks' The Thunder Rolls that much. Then when she put it on, the intro, he ran and hid underneath the fucking dining room table.
Oh, poor buddy.
It was fucking hilarious. To see such a massive, big, giant dog, you know, and you just switch on some fucking country and western and he bolts. Saying that, if you switch on country and western, I'll probably bolt as well.
It's a pupper.
So, Maddie, I have to be honest and say, I wasn't too sure whenever your status. I assumed that you were an atheist or agnostic as Dave hates or anything like that. I'm not too sure in that. Have you always been a Christian or did you leave and come back? Or I know you mentioned about keeping science separate, but were you raised keeping science separate, being in the Bible Belt, or?
I was raised in evangelicalism and left that, and in adulthood kind of found Episcopalianism. So I guess I have always been a Christian. I have dramatically changed flavors, but I was raised. Why I say I was raised cult adjacent, because I was
what?
Sorry, what?
Were you raised young Earth?
Oh no. I was raised. There are definitely people around me that were young Earth creationists, but that wasn't part of like my family. So the church that I was raised in, when I was young, so like middle school aged, intentionally separated from the denomination it had been associated with, because that denomination didn't let women do anything. And so I was kind of, I guess, unintentionally, but what was unintentionally, I think, modeled for me as a very young person was a group of people of faith questioning doctrine and it being okay for them to come up with different answers than what was like dogma.
Yeah.
And kind of dealing with that. And so I was never, I'm very lucky, I think, in that I did not grow up in a faith tradition that didn't allow for questions, that didn't allow for you to have a different answer, right? And I could always, I was always encouraged to think, to study the Bible as a historical document, and through that lens to try to understand who wrote what book and to whom and why they might have written it and what lessons we might be able to learn from it today. So if you ask me, like, what do I think about Genesis 1? I think it's a lovely poem,
Yes, you would agree with a lot of stuff, you know, and maybe learn some things from what Digital Hammurabi have put out and things like that. Yes.
Yeah. So I've learned a lot from them, and that's corrected some of my views. There are some things that I was taught that Moses wrote the book of Genesis, and I had no reason to question that. But knowing that Moses didn't doesn't I think that's super cool, and that tells me more about the history of this book, right? I don't know, I think that's really cool. That's
Oh no, genuine interest. You know, you don't think of us as fuckers with pitchforks.
No, well, and the thing is that I am going to respect anyone's position on faith, right? So anyone's belief or lack of belief. I firmly am of the opinion that fundamentalism is always bad, especially religious fundamentalism. And so that's certainly something that I would want to combat. And I will respect. I'm going to respect anybody's belief system, again, or lack thereof, up until the point that it calls for harm to others, and that's really my only line.
Yeah, well, on that we can all agree on. Yeah, on that we can all agree on. It's okay to believe whatever the hell you want to believe, and when you go out of your way to actually cause harm to others, it's time you get shut down.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm kind of the opinion that no one's right on faith. You know, we're all wrong in some way. And so, so I know the questions I've asked, I know the things and the answers I've come up with, but you are free to ask the exact same questions and come up with a completely different answer, right? Because that's it's a matter of faith. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know. I think I'm rambling.
No, it's fine. No, that's at the end of the day, Maddie. Okay. You know, I didn't bring you on here to question your beliefs or anything like that. It's a nice conversation. We like doing it. But whenever I reached out to you, it was like, here, you know this science stuff. We know cool science people. You want to hang out? This shit's fun. You know,
I love talking about science, but I'm also if you guys have questions for me, I'm perfectly comfortable talking about my faith. It's probably not going to be nearly as much fun as it is with some of the
You'd be surprised. You know, some of us think these sort of conversations are a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy cultivating relationships and having real conversations with people who think differently than I do. And that definitely includes faith, because I would love, I like understanding other people's points of view. I think that makes us more empathetic. I think that's, I'm interested in building bridges, not tearing them down.
Yeah, well, we've mentioned this before. We'd like it sort of an idea here at the Pigsty community is, like an Irish pub on a Friday night, pool table out the back, everybody talking shite. And at the end of the day, things can get heated sometimes and you'll call each other pricks and assholes, but you can still come back next week and the fucker that called you that'll probably buy you a pint and apologise. And it's all right to disagree with people, but when it breaks down relationships, that's when the problem starts.
Exactly. Yeah, and how boring would everything be if we all agreed on everything? That sounds awful.
Yeah, it really does. I do appreciate No, I've been asked, why the fuck do you stay up to all hours of the night talking to people that you disagree with? And I'm like, because it's fun. What do you want me to do? Sit around and agree with people? It's, as you say, surrounding yourself with the same people who agree with you. Oh my goodness, Rory, I love your hat. Has anyone met Rory? Dave's met Rory. Amanda, have you met Rory?
I'm not sure.
Rory,
good evening.
Hi, Rory.
Hello.
Rory is a fellow believer from England. He is Catholic. He is also a regular viewer and a great fun man to hang about with sometimes.
Your hat is so delightful.
That's very, very kind of you, MathPig. Thank you.
No, it's a snazzy, jazzy hat. I'm just glad you're not wearing your mask.
I know Dave doesn't agree with that one. That's
no,
for sure.
Nobody agrees with that mask, man. Nobody does. You just put it on to wind us up because you're a fucking asshole. Nobody is getting the joke, but Rory is a little bit of a right-winger sometimes, and Rory has a mask of a very far right-winger, and every now and again he pops on the screen going, "Hi, my name's Nigel."
My cousin my cousin, MathPig.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes, well, I wasn't going to say that. I'll let you say that yourself. But we have Nigel Farage's cousin here. If anyone knows who Nigel Farage is. Like the Brexit.
Anyway,
yeah,
right.
Doesn't matter.
Carry on, but MathPig, thank you so much for letting me on. It's,
I just let you on and rip you to shreds. So thanks for coming on and allowing me to
No,
do
you
that.
can try.
Rory, have you any questions from or Amanda or Maddie, our guest of honor tonight?
Sorry, for Maddie.
Maddie, Science Side Up, woman that we've been interviewing
hello.
for a couple hours. You're on our after party.
Hello, Maddie. Yes, I suppose. Now you mentioned, I do. Did you say you are a Catholic or were a Catholic?
Neither. I'm Episcopalian. I was raised non-denominational.
Sorry, that's absolutely right. I noticed that in the chat. The first Episcopalian priest I met when I lived in America in Pennsylvania was called Father Tinklepuff.
Excellent.
Yeah, I thought that it was a great name. And he actually came out of the hospital after my firstborn child was born. Not sure quite why, but
Can I interrupt just for a second because MathPig can't be bothered reading his messages. What layout are you on, MathPig?
Yours.
The 4 or the 5?
Oh, Rory just appeared. Hi, Rory. There you go.
are we getting a bit?
No, it's fine. Moving on. Live production. Forgot to hit a button. Moving on. Rory wasn't on screen. That's everybody could only hear Rory, and now you're on screen, Rory. Now you are. Moving on. I'm a dick.
Oh, I was talking about Maddie about Episcopalianism.
Yeah. Oh, did you know that the Episcopalians were banned from voting in the Anglican Communion for like 10 years because apparently our leaders are too liberal?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, we're not allowed to vote.
In which state?
No. There's the Anglican Communion has 3 main branches. There's the Church of England, obviously, and then there's then there's the Episcopal Church, which is predominantly in America, and then there's a branch that's predominantly in Africa. And so once every 5 years or so, the leaders of all 3 of those get together in the UK and talk about big picture issues and vote on things. And yeah, the Episcopalians aren't allowed to vote for 10 years.
Really? I never knew that. That's very interesting. Yeah. A bit like the breakup of not the Church of Rome, the Christian community in Constantinople.
Yeah. Well, what happened with the Episcopal Church? This is probably not what this stream is normally about, the history of different denominations.
This is whatever. Go for it, Maddie. It's about you.
Okay.
You're talking.
So they broke away from. So these were congregations in America before 1776 that were originally of the Church of England. But at least at that time, being a member of the Church of England required loyalty to the king. And so they broke away and kind of formed, just rewrote a few of the prayers to exclude the whole king bit, and now they're Episcopalian. So that's what when I say Episcopalians are just rebellious Anglicans. That's what
Maddie,
I mean.
That's very interesting because one of my very distant cousins was the governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony. Back in 1637 or something.
Yeah.
Of course, they were hard Puritans, and that went, and that went on to the Salem witch trials and all that kind of thing. So I think, early American religious history is very interesting to me.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it is really interesting. So the first Episcopal church I ever went to was in Boston, because I went to college in Boston, and the building had burned down several times, but the congregation predated the Revolutionary War, So like that's I think that's probably why I learned so much about the early days of the Episcopal Church, because this Trinity Church in Boston in Copley Square, that church, that congregation made the transition. And so one of the things you see a lot of democratic principles. There's a lot of voting in Episcopalian churches.
Sure.
So that's cool. Yeah. Anyway.
Interesting.
And I like them because they were the first, like they were the first denomination in the U.S. to ordain women. They will ordain now anyone, regardless of gender identity or sexual orientation. They will also marry anyone, and those are all things that I really liked. So, like the first church I went to, Episcopal church I went to, the priest was a gay man, a married gay man, and so it was such like an exhale getting to go to a church like that, where things that are like whether or not women should be allowed to lead anything in a church service was still like a question when I was growing up. And then to go in young adulthood to a church where like, no, women can do all the things. And we're going to like respect and affirm all members of the LGBTQ plus community. And that was a breath of fresh air. That was like exhaling.
Yeah, I mean, I think MathPig could help me out with this one. But I think that very much changed in the Church of England at the same time, allowing women priests and things.
That wouldn't surprise me. And
I know they can, but I'm not sure when that happened now.
Yeah.
I think it was 1980s, was it?
I was born in 83. I was born in 83, Rory, and I'm from Northern Ireland, not England. So.
It's just a problem. I'm a bit older, but so I remember these things.
I think
it must have been about that time.
I think women were ordained. I think the first female was ordained in the U.S. in the early to mid 70s. But it was all about this. It doesn't surprise me that that was the Church of England and the Episcopal Church were doing things like that.
But the connection is still sort of there, isn't it, between the Church of England and the Episcopals, as I call them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it must have been about the same time. Probably. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
And as I'm a bit of a boomer, I can't actually look up something on another tab while talking about it.
Oh, he said the magic word, gone. He said boomer. Maddie, you said earlier the lockdown.
MathPig.
Yes.
MathPig. Happy St. George's Day.
Is that today? I didn't even know that.
We have 14 minutes left.
Oh, right. Happy St. George's Day. Maddie, you mentioned earlier that you had projects going on with the lockdown and the fact that you have been in personal lockdown a wee bit longer. Have you any, are they weird? Are you trying to build a free energy device, a rocket to the moon?
No, nothing like that. All of my projects are like creative outlets. So I do I do a lot of hand embroidery. And I'm making like 3 quilts right now. It's very domestic of me.
There's something that I really want to do now. I can't at the minute because the living room's not so big and I don't have a room big enough for it. But I'd like to get one of them giant, maybe 3 foot wide glass, big balls. You put plants in them and then seal it and don't open it. A completely self-contained.
Yeah. A self-sustaining ecosystem.
Yeah.
Or a biodome.
Yeah, biodome, whatever you want to call it. There's lots of different things. And I've seen some videos on YouTube, and it's definitely something that I'd like to do myself.
That'd be super cool. Yeah.
I keep bees, and I would like to have a wall for an ant farm in the house. Put the sand in it and have it lit up and all like that there. But if it broke in the middle of the night and the dog ran into it or something, that would be fucking ants everywhere.
That would suck.
Yeah.
But that would be really cool.
They actually have a whole biodome. We call it Biosphere 2, I think, in Tucson, which is all self-sustaining, but it's like the fucking Pauly Shore movie, except it's the real thing, where it's
Making
why I
a
relate that to
filter.
that. But yes, but it's they have all they have, I think, 4 different types of ecosystems. They have subtropic, tropic, desert, and I can't remember mountain or something like that. But it's really interesting, and it's like it's all self-sustaining, and it's very cool in Tucson.
That's
I lived there
super
for a while,
cool.
so.
Yeah.
Again, with the whole YouTube's fantastic. There's a guy that does something very similar with fish tanks, and actually picks and chooses what flowers he puts in it, so that the animals can live on it, and just goes down to the river and gets some just local freshwater shrimp and just dumps them in and sees if they can survive and things like that. It's very, very good to see these sort of things be self-sustainable, because you really can be self-sustainable. I'm hoping to build a house and bar the concrete that will be fucking used. Maddie, I hope the formula for Roman concrete is in this show tomorrow. We can cheat.
She talks about how to make it. It's pretty cool.
Brilliant. There's a lot. It's the lime or something in it that under the water concrete, isn't it, that keeps it so absorbent? Or
Yeah, so the lime I learned is really important. For underwater, that's important because lime is very porous.
Yeah.
And so it allows for when they're so what allows it to set underwater is actually like volcanic ash and other things that additives to the concrete.
There's a fancy name for the volcanic ash. I can't remember what it was called.
I don't know. I just call it volcanic ash.
I know. Yeah, go on ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
So because the concrete is very porous when it sets, it allows for mineral growth, so crystals to grow inside of the structure. And so the addition of those crystals over time and as they grow and form makes it stronger. And then, so that's really cool. And then, I don't know. I don't want to say anymore because I'm like launching that video live tomorrow, and everybody should go watch it.
Yeah,
watch my friend Linda come over to my channel. Watch Linda talk about Roman concrete and all of her adventures fighting aqueducts in Italy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, as I mentioned earlier, with the whole new builds. People go into these new builds, they're built like fucking McDonald's. They're thrown up very quickly. Amanda's had 7 new houses in a couple of years. There's been 5 houses built just up the road from me in less than 6 months. And a couple of 100 yards up the road. They bought a field that had 1 house in it, knocked it down, built 5 or 6. All new builds, thrown up. Pardon, Dave?
The problem we have got with concrete is we have steel reinforced concrete. And we have not found a way to stop it rusting. And when it rusts, it breaks the concrete.
Well, we also, our concrete, while it's very, very strong, it's not, it's more apt to undergo brittle failure instead of ductile deformation. Also important.
We had to make
I just interrupted MathPig's train of thought for the hell of it.
No, that's fine. I can go for another one. Like, we built an underground garage and we made our own reinforced concrete for the roof. We built it out of like blocks of wood, put it down, had to lay the concrete and built the roof in slabs. Had to lift it up with a digger, set it down, put the steel in it and let it all set. And random story.
You want to know what makes concrete really good? Asbestos.
Yeah, that's true. Dave, I was going to ask you.
Dave's gone. Dave's not here, man.
Gone? Oh. No, he's back. Good. Why can't we have aluminium or aluminum concrete? Fortified, strengthened concrete.
We could.
But it's too expensive.
I'd assume that would be the reason. I have to look into it. But there's no reason. It's not that
strong.
strong.
A matter of resources too. I mean, think about how much we use concrete for, and to put that amount of
aluminium. Aluminium is very, very common. It's just
it's hard to extract.
But it's still a matter of getting all of that amount and being able to break it down and put it into a concrete mix for itself. There's as opposed to the way they do it now. It's a lot.
It has to be removed by the electrolysis. You can't just smelt it down. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
See, I said something smart on the science stream. Go me!
Proud of you.
Yeah, thank you, Maddie. I didn't even get the clap. It sounded like you were clicking on your keyboard, Dave.
Oh, MathPig.
Yeah, sure.
You'd be very proud of me, or not me, my son. we know we have this Thursday clapping for the NHS. MathPig?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep. We have this Thursday. My son played his bagpipes tonight at 8 p.m.
Right.
And everybody was clapping.
When they played the bagpipes. Would they not have been ready to bang on the table?
Obviously, they were clapping for the National Health Service.
Mm-hmm.
But then he got on his bagpipes and played, and I thought that he probably had a little bit of a clap for that. But they loved it. Yeah, my neighbours loved the bagpipes.
Generally, when I had been, my father was military, and generally, if I'd ever been any of them there and they had the bagpipes and things like that, they specifically said beforehand for the people who didn't know not to clap their hands, but to bang the table. And then they would take their glass and they would bang the table and go and all that there sort of thing. It was I don't know if it was a military thing but it wasn't clapping. It was always banging the table and making noise. Well, that killed the stream. Everybody went quiet. Dave, Dave, have you thought of an intro yet for the channel that's not oink and something else?
No.
Oh,
You're gonna have to say welcome back to the pigsty.
Do I really?
Welcome to the pigsty. Or pigsty, no idea.
Yeah, shite. Maddie, any ideas? No. No. See?
I'm like terrible at YouTube. I'm good at explaining science, but I'm terrible at YouTube. That's
Yeah, well, anytime you want to do a live stream or anything like that, just hit us up. Me or Dave can host for you and we can get some people in or whatever. It's dead handy. We just need to hit a button. It's real simple.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
And Dave, I invited Maddie to your critical questions tomorrow. Do you want to give her a heads up of what your critical questions is about if she does decide to join us?
If I do that, she probably won't.
No. Go on, give her an introduction to the critical questions.
It's a lot of dumb questions.
Okay. That's also at like 7 a.m. for me.
Yeah, it's very early. I wouldn't.
So it'll depend on like when my dog gets me up to take him outside. That's if he gets me up before 7, I'll pop by in my pajamas with my coffee.
What sort of dog do you have, Maddie?
I have I normally call him a Holstein mutt, but I'm not sure if that joke works in not Oklahoma. He's just a black and white hound, tiny thing.
I have a Springer Poo.
Okay.
Or a Sprudel, whichever you want to call them. But
you have a mongrel.
It's a Springer Spaniel.
Nice.
Poodle cross thing. But he's jolly good dog, actually. He's 10 years old now.
Yeah.
Always after the lady dogs. Even at his age. And he's actually been jolly good. He's asleep upstairs at the moment, so he's staying out of the live stream.
That's all for good of him.
Yes. No, Toby is fast asleep in the other room. So he's a rescue, and when I got him, they said he was 7. And I think they were lying. Like, I think he was older when I got him, and I have now had him for 6 years, and somehow he's still alive. And I love my dog very much. I am also genuinely surprised that he's still alive. Like, I'm happy about it, but I'm genuinely surprised.
I was going to say, 17, is he now? That's a very good age.
So he sleeps a lot, and he was getting too skinny, so now I just like feed him peanut butter every time he wakes up. Put some weight back on. It's a peanut butter. It's got so many fats in it that like that's actually a great. If you need to fatten a small child or a dog up, peanut butter is a great way to go.
I've never tried that with my dog.
Okay.
But he does like Marmite. Do you know about Marmite?
No.
I know that Marmite is a thing which exists. I have never tried it.
It's
You're
a,
very lucky.
Yeah.
it's a yeast extract spread, and it's one of those
Peanut
things.
butter sounds better.
No. What they do is they pick up a very sick dog, right, and they follow it round and pick up what it leaves, and then they jar it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have a dog there at the start of the month. He turned 16 at the start of the month or so he did. And he's still fighting strong. I'd say that wee shit's probably got at least 4 or 5 years in him. You wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Like, I went to the river the other day with him and turned around, and he had literally walked out to the middle of the river, and there's a branch maybe 15 foot long, and he's dragging it out of the river. It's just like, calm down, dog, you know.
That's awesome. Toby is like, it's been really noticeable in like the last year how much he's slowed down.
Yeah, they get down quick.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, like, he still has a pretty good quality of life. He has like been slowly collecting pillows and blankets from us, so he's got us to build him a pillow fort, where he can sleep with like the sunbeam coming in the afternoon, and then he just wakes up and like gets fed, and like cuddles for a little bit, and then goes back to his pillow fort and goes to bed. It's a pretty good life, but.
Mine has no idea what to do, because I would go to work and, you know, he has the backyard, or if he needs to come in, he can come in his own way or whatever and lie up on the sofa. He has the house to himself when I'm at work, and I'd wake in the morning if he's sleeping at the bottom of the bed. It's like, did you have to wake me? And he goes down the stairs, goes into his bed, and then goes back to sleep again. And I'm here all day. It's like, you're under my feet. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off.
Well, he's probably wondering, like, why this is my nap time. Why? But I have to follow you because I have to protect you.
So, oh no, mine doesn't give a shit about me.
Can you just like stay still so that I can nap?
Oh no, mine doesn't. No, mine doesn't give two flying fucks about me at all. He is very independent. Very independent.
Toby, even in his old age, is super, super protective of me. It's really sweet.
No, my dog's not a normal dog at all. Like, he has attitude. He'll tell you to go fuck yourself in his own way. I've explained before, there was a hole in the back hedge, and he was smart enough to go out and spend the summer days in the river, come home smelling of water, not knowing why, because he's he's like, you haven't left anywhere, you're obviously here. And finding out after a while that he's been escaping for the guts of a week, lying in the sunshine, having fun in the river, coming home to get fed just before I get home from work.
Great.
Yeah, smart dog.
Great. That sounds like your... Yeah.
I saw the funniest cartoon on Twitter the other day. It's got basically a dog sitting on the sofa, looking out of the window, next to his master, who's doing the same thing. And the master turns around to the dog and says, "Now I can understand why you bark at the neighbours going by all day." During lockdown, I thought that was rather funny.
I saw that one.
You did?
Yeah. Aww.
That was him yesterday at the river. So he's still looking well for his age. He's not, overweight or anything like that. And yeah, good dog.
Yeah.
He's called Pot. My mother named him because of my habit, but we'll not get into that.
Excellent.
Have we any questions for Maddie or anybody on the panel? Rory, I'm sure we've got lots of questions for him and Manda and me and Dave, and Maddie is the guest of honor tonight. So if anybody's any questions for Maddie, and if you haven't already subscribed, go and hit the woman's. Subscribe. Go and hit the bell and all the notifications. Roman concrete tomorrow. Okay, is it just me that's excited? Is it just me?
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Roman concrete fascinates me, I've got to say.
I learned a lot getting to talk to her. It was really fun. Also having a YouTube channel is giving me a reason to like catch up with all of my college friends who are in different fields of science. So it's that's a lot of fun for me too.
Let's meet up. Why? I want to talk science. Why? So I can record it, bitch.
Yep, pretty much.
It's not creepy at all.
No, it's not weird at all. It's normal. This is how normal people behave. Yeah.
Yeah, normal people. There's not enough normal people that talk about science. These things and these conversations that we have, you know, it has been lost. Bringing back the Romans and the Greeks and stuff like that. They used to sit around in their whatever it was and shout at each other and discuss these things, and we don't have that anymore. You know, the public don't have the ability to do that. It's definitely something that we should do. I think it encourages want and desire to learn more. You know, if somebody tells you you're wrong, you're going to want to go out and find out why you're wrong and what's right. And if you don't,
wait, that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. When people are wrong, they seem to want to stick their flag in the ground and say, "No, I'm not."
Yeah, well, you cut me off. I was going to say, if you don't, you're a dick.
No, I was going to say, Matt, but yeah, we do have the opportunity to shout at one another on your channel. Hopefully.
Yep.
No,
yep, what do you see? Look, kick him, wait 30 seconds, you know, a couple of minutes, bring him back, and he'd say, sometimes you don't know if they're going to come back laughing or going, what the fuck happened? You know, it's oh,
I
Maddie,
trust you.
I really do appreciate tonight, Maddie. It has been really, really good fun. We've been going the guts of an hour.
So I've
I'm
had
probably
such a
going
good time.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's we've got Dave's quiz and we've got other stuff, and yeah, get Discord or get Twitter, and it's a lot more. We can let you know a wee bit quicker than an email. You know, shit be going down. This is fun. Come hang out, because we need more smart people in the community to help the community as a whole. And you've that much going on. There's definitely you get an outlet here that you can.
You will need Twitter, not for Twitter itself, but an awful lot of organisation goes on in Twitter DMs.
Okay, I do have a Twitter. After I made it, I've never actually looked at it.
Dave's basically saying when you get off stream, go fucking download Twitter.
I'll think about it.
It's bad, Maddie. It's bad.
No, thank you so much. One of these days, I'll join the 21st century.
No, we really do appreciate you coming on. Emails is still 21st century. Emails is still 21st century. We've got Richard in the fucking community that carries threes when he does the time zone conversions and is always late. It's fine. Email still works with him too.
And it was super nice to meet you, Dave, and Amanda.
You too.
Yeah, I had fun talking with y'all, and also you, Rory. Sorry, hi.
Yeah, thank you.
I talked with them longer. So.
That's fine. That's fine. Johnny, nice to meet you too.
Rory is anything but forgettable. Take that as it is, you know. So everybody, thank you very much for coming. As I always say, you know, everybody, if you didn't watch, it wouldn't be any worthwhile doing this. So on that, we will oink and out, and thank you all very much for coming. Jesus, I have too many freaking scenes at the minute.